Hello, it's Gordon here. Excuse me, got a tickle in my throat. And I hope all is well with you. This Facebook Live I called Cracking Goal Achievement from Crackers. And I'm talking about James Cracknell. And I don't know if he's ever actually been called Crackers. In all the interviews I've seen on television, no one's actually called him that, but I wouldn't be surprised if he has. James Cracknell. Now, why am I talking about James Cracknell today? Because yesterday he won the boat race. Well, he didn't win the boat race by himself. There were 7 other people in the boat, 7 other rowers and the cocks. But he was in the Cambridge crew which won the race. And his story got a lot of the coverage, dominated the coverage. In fact, I think the BBC who were covering it went over the top a little bit on him without focusing on the other people involved in the victories. But nevertheless, it's a great story, packed full of goal achievement nuggets, which is why I'm talking about it today. And the main reason that it was such a big story is because he's 46. Now you might think, hang on, 46? That's not that old, is it? Well, no, it isn't, particularly for someone like me who's older than 46. But for rowing, yeah, you don't do it. Well, you do it in sort of masters or veterans events, but not in the regular events. And at 46, he's the oldest person to row in the boat race. And here's the thing, the previous oldest person to row in the boat race was 36. So not only is James Cracknell the oldest, he's the oldest by 10 years that's ever rowed in the race. And he was in the winning boat. And it wasn't always clear that he was going to be in the boat at all. Because the boat race for Oxford and Cambridge, they spend 6 months preparing for the race alongside their students, alongside their studies at the university. And they train and they join the squad. Some rowers only learn to row when they're at university. Some rowers go to the university specifically to be in the boat race. So they first have to get in the squad and then they have to get selected for the blue boat, they call it. So there's no guarantee that he was even going to get in the boat. But he did at 46. So he was showing the same level of performance as people 20 years younger than him. Unbelievable. Now, part of that is to do with physiology, that, you know, we can't do, we can do certain amounts to affect our fitness and our muscles and all the rest of it, fat levels and etc. But the actual internal physiology, sometimes there's nothing we can do about that. You're either built like it or you're not. And he is. But think about the phenomenal effort and dedication that he's put into it to get that result. And that's not the first time we've seen that from him, because he first came to prominence. He won 2 Olympic gold medals in rowing. This was back in 2000 and 2004. Shows how long ago it was. So he's a double Olympic gold medalist. Now, how about that for an achievement? To win, or to get to an Olympics, to win an Olympic medal, to win an Olympic gold medal, and then come back and win an Olympic gold medal again. You've got to be fully on board with goal achievement theory and taking action and dedication and sacrifice. Since he retired from rowing, he then went on endurance sort of events which were made into television documentaries. So he's rowed across oceans, he's trekked across poles, he's hiked across deserts. And it was on one of these trips where he was cycling across America that he got hit by a truck and was in a coma for a while. And he had to learn to read and write again. I think he had to learn to walk again. And it affected him, affected his moods, massive life changes for him. But he eventually came back. And in the build up to the race, here's another goal achievement theory point. The Cambridge organisation, the rowing club, said that he could take all the publicity and all the media coverage because they knew that it was such a big story that the media were going to be all over it like a rash. So if they tried to shield him or tried to say, no, don't talk about James Cracknell all the time, it was just going to create conflict. So what they actually did was say to him and to the media, yes, here, you go forward and deal with the media and the story because you're used to doing it, and it'll take away pressure and attention from the rest of us. Because you know that you can handle it. It's been shown that you can handle it. It means that we won't even have to handle it, or handle it a lot less. Classic goal achievement theory, making an adjustment to improve the chances of the whole organisation. And in fact, in both the men and the women's races, Cambridge are, I'm tempted to say, leaving Oxford in their wake at the moment, because they've got an organisation and a setup in place which is not the same as the national GB setup, but it's got systems and strategies in place which are in line with what the GB rowing setup does. Clive Woodward calls it marginal gains. If you can do this one element a little bit better than everyone else, if you can do this one element a little bit better, if you can do this one element a little bit better, then all of those marginal gains add up to a hell of a lot if your competition is not making those marginal gains. So can you see how powerful that is on the goal achievement front? So talking about James Cracknell at 46, talking about the Cambridge University boat racing setup, great goal achievement theories and examples in practice because people have taken action. So how can we relate either his story or the Cambridge organisation's story to you, to your goals? Well, I don't know, because I don't know what your goals are. I would love it if you got in touch and told me. But to sum it up, goal achievement theory combined with taking action. And also, obviously, the fact that you might not succeed. Because in the boat race, there's only Cambridge and Oxford, and Cambridge, there's no guarantee they're going to win. They've got to actually turn up and not be beaten by the opposition. One of the beauties of the boat race, there's only the same two teams in it every year, and you either win or there's no second place. It's all or nothing. Losing is absolutely devastating for all of the rowers. And one thing that did come up in the coverage of James Cracknell's story is that he is very driven, obviously hard-working, and the word intense was used a lot. So a lot of the other rowers, a lot of his coaches, the doctors who helped him back from his coma, said he is hard work to deal with because his demands are extreme. He has extreme demands for himself and everyone else. He will push himself to find where the limit is. And if you do that, you often end up going over the limits. And he does that to everyone around him and expects the same of everyone around him. So very difficult. But he gets the results, doesn't he? And these challenges give his life meaning. Because he wakes up in the morning and he's thinking about that goal, what action he's going to take, and then he takes action. So his life is driven, given meaning by these goals and challenges. And they said in the coverage, when he wakes up today, this morning, having won the boat race yesterday at 46, what is his next challenge going to be? Because there will be one. So look to your goals, whatever they are. Are you on board with goal achievement theory? Are you on board with taking action? Are you on board with doing something better all the time to move you closer towards it? Are you on board with the possibility that despite all that, you might not get there? How driven are you? How much intention, how much ethics do you bring to the process? And how much meaning to your life is it getting back for you? In any of the 5 key areas that I talk about, health, wealth, career, relationships or lifestyle, it applies to any/all of them. So yes, great story, the kind of story that will push my buttons a lot, which is why I'm talking about it today. So let me know what you think. If you like that story, hit the like button. I would appreciate that. It helps share the message via the Facebook algorithms. Hope all is well with you. Wishing you as ever health and happiness. And I will speak to you again soon.